The art of being wise is the art of knowing what to overlook. These words from William James might be the most powerful insight for finding happiness as we age. What if I told you that the secret to a joyful life isn't about adding more tasks to your to-do list, but strategically removing certain efforts altogether? The surprising truth is that becoming lazier in specific areas of life might be your ticket to profound contentment. Let me show you 5 areas where putting in less effort could transform your happiness, especially as you grow older. 1. Abandon the approval trap. Remember that time you spent hours agonizing over what to wear to a party, only to realize nobody was paying attention to your outfit? As children, we're hardwired to seek approval. It's a survival mechanism. But something fascinating happens when we age. We begin to recognize how little others actually think about us. The person who judged your choice at the grocery store, they've forgotten you by the time they reach the parking lot. The colleague who raised an eyebrow at your presentation style, they're too wrapped up in their own insecurities to dwell on yours. When you stop investing energy in others' opinions, you reclaim that energy for yourself. Watch any genuinely content elder, and you'll notice a pattern. They wear what's comfortable, speak their truth without apology, and make choices based on personal satisfaction rather than external validation. This isn't about becoming inconsiderate. It's about recognizing that constantly attempting to meet others' expectations is like trying to hit a moving target while blindfolded. The moment you become strategically lazy about seeking approval, you discover an unexpected treasure: authentic self-acceptance. 2. Release relationships that require constant maintenance. Think about your most nourishing relationships. Are they the ones requiring constant work, or the ones that flow naturally? Many of us were taught that relationships demand consistent effort, but there's a crucial distinction between healthy investment and exhausting maintenance. Consider the friendship where you're always initiating contact, always making accommodations, always walking on eggshells. Now compare it to connections where both parties naturally gravitate toward each other, where silences feel comfortable, where you can be fully yourself. The most contented elders aren't surrounded by crowds, they're enveloped by quality connections. They've mastered the art of relationship discernment, knowing which connections deserve energy and which should be released. When you become lazy about forcing relationships, you create space for authentic ones to flourish. You stop pouring precious energy into emotional sieves and instead direct it toward mutually nourishing bonds. This isn't abandonment. It's wise allocation of your finite emotional resources. 3. Surrender the urge to fix others. We humans are natural fixers. We see someone making a mistake we've made, and we desperately want to spare them the pain we experienced. We notice our partner's inefficient habits and feel compelled to optimize them. We observe a friend's self-sabotage and craft the perfect advice that would solve everything if only they'd listen. Here's the humbling truth that becomes clearer with age. People change when they're ready, not when you want them to. Think about your own life. Did you ever make a significant change because someone nagged you? Or did transformation happen when something finally clicked within yourself? The wisest elders grasp this fundamental truth. Attempting to change others is like trying to control the weather. Impressive in its ambition, futile in its outcome. When you become lazy about fixing others, you release an enormous burden. You stop feeling responsible for others' choices and start focusing on the one life you can actually influence in your own. This isn't about becoming indifferent. You can still offer support, share experiences, and provide perspective when asked. But you'll do so without attachment to the outcome, without the exhausting assumption that their journey is yours to direct. 4. Stop chasing those who don't value your presence. Have you noticed how society often glorifies the chase? We're told to pursue relationships, to fight for connections, to never give up. While persistence has its place, there comes a point when chasing becomes an act of self-diminishment. The painful truth is that not everyone will value your presence equally. Some people will consistently position you as an afterthought, a backup plan, a convenience, and no amount of effort on your part will elevate your position in their priorities. When you become lazy about pursuing those who don't reciprocate, something transformative happens. You discover who genuinely desires your company. The people who value you will find ways to be present without prompting. They'll initiate contact, remember details about your life, and make space for you and theirs. This selective laziness isn't about building walls, it's about establishing healthy boundaries. It's recognizing that relationships shouldn't require you to constantly prove your worth. When you stop chasing validation from those unwilling to give it freely, you preserve energy for connections that naturally nourish your spirit. 5. Embrace the illusion of control. Perhaps the most liberating form of strategic laziness comes with surrendering the illusion of control. We exhaust ourselves trying to micromanage outcomes, prepare for every contingency, and prevent all possible problems. Yet despite our most meticulous planning, life consistently demonstrates its unpredictability. The greatest paradox of control is that the more tightly we grasp it, the more it slips through our fingers. The most peaceful elders aren't those who controlled every aspect of their lives perfectly. They're those who learn to navigate uncertainty with grace. When you become lazy about controlling everything, you discover the exhilaration of surrender. You stop wasting energy on countless what-ifs and start engaging with what actually is. You develop resilience rather than resistance. You learn to flow with life rather than fight against its current. This doesn't mean abandoning responsibility or thoughtful planning. It means recognizing the difference between what you can influence and what you cannot. It means understanding that sometimes the wisest response to life's complexities isn't more effort but less resistance. The wisdom of subtraction. What if the secret to aging joyfully isn't found in doing more but in strategically doing less? What if happiness comes not from accumulation but from careful curation? The most profound wisdom of aging isn't learning what to add to your life, but discerning what to release. It's about becoming selectively lazy, conserving your energy for what truly matters while letting go of exhausting, unnecessary efforts. Ask yourself, where am I overextending? What obligations do I maintain out of habit rather than genuine desire? What relationships drain me more than nourish me? What outcomes am I trying to control that might be better surrendered? Perhaps it's time to grant yourself permission for strategic laziness, not the laziness of apathy or disengagement, but the thoughtful conservation of your most precious resources, your energy, your attention, and your peace of mind. The paradox of aging well might just be this: the more selectively lazy you become, the richer your experience of life grows. And in that beautiful contradiction lies the secret to genuine contentment. What area of strategic laziness will you embrace today? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If this perspective resonated with you, please like and subscribe to join our community of thoughtful individuals seeking deeper fulfillment. Your engagement helps us continue creating meaningful content that sparks reflection and growth. Thank you for your time today, and I look forward to our next conversation.